What it do, bruh? Talk of the town, Nintendo, Doc Trey, still holding it down, still make the best games, and you know this, bro. It's the truth. You don't like it, you can have that seatbelt.
Alright, so happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there, even the Switch 2 haters. So, it looks like Injustice 2 was actually in development for the original Nintendo Switch. And I have proof. But before we get things started, we're still on the road to 20,000 subscribers. So if you are into Nintendo Switch 2 content and are not yet subscribed to the channel, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Let me know what you guys think about the topic in the comment section. And of course, if you like the video, hit the thumbs up. So Injustice 2 was actually in development for the original Nintendo Switch. And there have been rumors and speculation and rumblings about this in the past, and even statements by Ed Boon himself. So way back in 2017, when the Switch 2 had only been out for a few months, maybe 6 months or so, Ed Boon was asked if Injustice would be coming to the Nintendo Switch. And he said, according to Boon, it would be possible to get Injustice 2 running on the system, though he suggested that there could be some shortcomings, presumably in fidelity, of course. And he said, yeah, I think at the end of the day, you can get almost any game. There are inevitable compromises, but you know you can get some version of Injustice on the 2600, on the Atari 2600. He's joking. He's just talking about how scalable engines are. He says, it's not going to be great, but I bet I can make something. He's just telling you how easy it is to scale games. And he says, speaking more generally about the idea of developing games for Switch, Boon seemed optimistic. That said, the technical challenges could see NetherRealm turn to an outside studio to handle the process. And he said, yeah, actually I do. He said when asked if he has interest in exploring Switch games. Now remember, this is before NetherRealm Studios had any games on the Switch. So this is before Mortal Kombat 1. This is before Mortal Kombat 11. He said it is a pretty different hardware architecture. It's not like you can go from PlayStation 4 to Switch really easily. So I think we would need to set up something in terms of an external team. I know on the art team we have enough people to do 3 console SKUs, and that would be something we would need to work out. Says, from a game player's perspective, would it be fun to play Injustice on the Switch? I do think it would. We could have tournaments, everyone comes over with their own system, and you have the whole structured tournaments and parallel gameplay and all that. Says, earlier this year, Boon seemingly teased at the possibility of a Switch version of Injustice 2 on Twitter. And that tweet is here where he's asking which PlayStation Vita or Nintendo Switch, and you see me right under that. I told them, dude, stop trolling, and announced that Injustice 2 port for Switch so I can pre-order it. Well, as you know, nothing came of that regarding Injustice 2 and the Nintendo Switch 2. But today, I found proof that not only was that idea legit, but the game was actually in active development for the Nintendo Switch, but got canceled. So Q-Lock, a company that Warner Brothers likes to work with pretty often and have worked on PC ports and help with co-development on multiple fighting games for NetherRealm Studios, including Mortal Kombat X, Mortal Kombat 1, and Injustice, and Mortal Kombat 11. Well, I found this LinkedIn post from a programmer from Q-Lock, and it says, canceled Nintendo Switch fighting game port from February 2018 to May 2018. Now, Injustice 2, came out at the end of 2017, right? So it says rendering optimizations Platform features implementation support for different resolutions in handheld and dock mode. Okay, so this posting lines up exactly with Injustice 2. And this developer just happened to have helped develop and work on versions of Injustice 2 for NetherRealm Studios. So this right here proves that, yeah, not only was it considered for Switch, it was in active development for the Nintendo Switch. So you probably ask yourself, well, what happened? Why did this game get canceled? Well, I have a theory on that. I think that they did not want their first NetherRealm Studios game on the Nintendo Switch to be Injustice. And the reason for that is that this is when the Nintendo Switch was still new. It was still selling well, but at that time it was still a new system and it was still having to prove itself to publishers. I feel that the reason they decided to cancel this game is because they wanted Mortal Kombat 11 to be their first game on the Nintendo Switch. And the reason for that is for the higher ups, because an Injustice 2 port on the Nintendo Switch would not have sold nearly as well as Mortal Kombat 11. And the reason why you go for a top selling game versus one that's not so much is that if they had put Injustice 2 on the Switch and it didn't sell that well, Warner Brothers would have been probably less likely to want to approve Mortal Kombat coming to the system. We saw the same thing that happened with the first Injustice. The first Injustice came out for the Wii U. The Wii U sold terribly, and with that, Injustice on the Wii U also sold terribly. And I think that's one of the reasons why we never even got Mortal Kombat 9 on the Wii U, even though it could run it very easily. I think Warner Brothers looked at the sales of Injustice and was like, no. So this time, I think Ed Boon was like, nah, you know what? We need to put a game on there. Our first game needs to be a game that's going to sell well, like that we know will sell well. And I think that's why they ended up just canceling their port of Injustice 2, which, just like he suggested in earlier, was going to use an external developer in QLock. And they decided to go with Mortal Kombat 11 and just focus on that releasing at the same time as other platforms. And in hindsight, that was absolutely the smartest thing to do. But what's interesting is that the fact that they did and were going to bring Injustice 2 to their original Switch means that doesn't rule out them coming out with Injustice 2 Legendary Edition, probably for the Nintendo Switch 2. So the idea was there. So yeah, if they were going to bring it to the regular Switch, there's damn sure a good chance they could bring it to Switch 2. But anyway, let me know what you guys think in the comments section.